and thank you for inviting me. So, I'll admit I'm a bit nervous, so it's just gonna take me a little bit to adjust here and to warm up. But in any other cases, without any further ado, so Danse, uh, good morning, everybody. My name is Lyvia Yvette Allison Bruno, slash Rajput. I am Samson Cree Nation. I'm just gonna do it the traditional way, how everybody does it within the community. So my parents are Leo Edward Bruno, and my mom is Roxanne Marlene Pegan. And I have five siblings. I am the fifth youngest out of the six. And I was born April 22nd, 1982. So my star sign is Taurus. My hobbies are drawing, writing, swimming, cosplays, beading, and video games. And I forgot to put TikTok on there, but that's okay. So, Manisha, if you don't mind to switch on to the next slide. Awesome, thank you. So there is a visual of my family. On the left is me and my mom, my beautiful mother, Roxanne. She's so beautiful. And in the middle, these are my siblings. So going in the correct order. So on the left would be my first oldest is Ingrid Kellen. And the second on the right is the second oldest is my beautiful sister, Marcia Amuso. And on the bottom left is my brother, Barry Everett Bruno. And on the right is my sister, Melissa Bruno. And there you can see there's me. And the baby of the family is my little brother, Ryan Bruno. He, he's the baby of the family and he is special needs. He doesn't speak. He's very, very bright, very smart, and he's my partner in crime. So because we're both the youngest, we always get into trouble. So, but yeah. And last but not least, on the very right is my dad, me, and the famous star, William Shatner. This was taken back a couple of years ago. I surprised my dad to take him to see one of his star idols from Star Trek. And my dad, because of him, we're all Trekkie fans. And I wanted to make the dream come true to meet with William Shatner. I've always told the story time and time again of how meeting William Shatner, it was such a big deal back then. I'll make it a little quick. We were waiting in line. This was in Calgary, Comic Con, and my dad had to excuse himself, and he said he was gonna come right back. And the line was going up so fast, and I was getting worried and wondering, okay, where's my dad? Where is he? Why is he not picking up his phone? So by the time when it was time to meet up with William Shatner, um, I was freaking out and I was like, oh no. And here William Shatner saw me and he goes, what seems to be the problem? And I explained to him and I was freaking out. And here he put his two hands on my shoulder. He goes, we'll wait for your dad. Just wait right there at the corner. As soon as you see him, we'll take his picture. And here his agent was like, yeah, we have all time in the world, so we'll wait for him. So not even 2 minutes late, I mean, not even 5 minutes later, my dad shows up and I go, my dad's here. And everyone stopped and they wave up their hands, the dad's here. So they had to stop the lineup for us and got our pictures taken. And I was really happy and moved by that and how, it was incredible for what, Mr. Shatner did. And after when we got our photos taken here, I just, put my hand out and shook his hand. I go, thank you so much. And he was like, you're welcome. Like as if he did something incredibly heroic. So that was awesome. And it's something that I will never forget. Be telling the stories, all the way through. And if you can switch to the next slide. Thank you. So this is where I had started my journey. I had applied for my ISWK for the 2-year program at Musquechee's Cultural College. Let it be known that the campus used to be the Samson Junior High School, where I had went from grade 3 to grade 8. Most definitely, it had brought back a lot of memories. So coming back to the campus, I felt like time was magical for me. And it says, I felt that in a sense, I went back through time and going through the alternate universe and restarting all over again, if that makes sense. And even for some of my peers from the past were there as well. So I was amazed to see some of my old classmates there. It's like, oh, hey. Oh, it was awesome. And it was nice. It was a magical feeling to relive, you know, to relive that sense again, if that makes sense. And I, so I was just wondering, is this coincidental timing or what? But in any cases, I have completed my diploma in 2019. I eventually went to go for my BSW, but when COVID hit, everything changed. So um, I couldn't complete my BSW the first time around and deal with mental health with what was happening back then. So I had to, step down for a while. But eventually, I went back and reapplied again. And I was told that I had to restart all over again. And I basically said, you know what? That's okay with me. As long as I get the chance to, to come back and finish this up, like I have no issues. So, and looking at the positive note, I thought, well, at least this time I can pay attention to the studies and the lectures and the lessons from there, like, better this time than the last time, you know? So I look at everything, at a positive point. And I did my 2 years for that, for my BSW, and I worked hard with my studies, um, attending the lectures. Everything was all online, so it was just like a big adjustment then adjustment than going in a physical, in classroom. But yeah, but the good news is that I had completed my BSW last year in 2023. So if you can click for the next one. So I try to grab as much, whatever good photos I have of me. So on the left bottom, there is my diploma, my ISWK one. And on the right is my BSW. And there's my dad, and there is my baby girl niece, Samantha. She's right there. And these are just the photos that I have from last year's graduation. I couldn't get the ones, that was in my Facebook from 2019. I was like so busy, cramming everything in. So, exit. I had to put this on here because I thought, I like adding funny memes and, to bring in the humor and just to start things out. So it begins, the great battle of our semester. Couldn't agree more with it. Next one. So I thought to add in with the keynotes as an MCC student, um, building relationships with the peers, instructors, and MCC staff. And I truly believe that building that foundation relationship with everyone helps not only, but build the connection, but to gain the support level, and also to have, for those to meet you halfway and understanding if, it's be able to help you to meet halfways when it comes to situation. And, it's just, sorry, I'm just trying to find a better words for that, but it's better just to build a relationship and always ask questions and always ask for help. There is no such thing as a silly, embarrassing questions. I know there's a lot of us, and even including myself, when we think about asking a question, but then thinking, oh, what if it sounds dumb? Or I don't want to sound dumb that way, or anything like that. It's like, no, 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 no. You just ask questions, ask away, even if there's something that you don't know. Like, don't feel embarrassed about it. Just ask away, because this is the part of where, you're learning and you're gaining knowledge and the experience from there. And education is the top priority, having that mindset. So for most of us, when we're applying for programs, it's very exciting, but at the same time, it comes with the responsibility. So I like to use an analogy of where you're a new parent and this program is your baby. You have responsibilities of looking after this baby. So on that note, this is your responsibility of when it comes to attending, having that routine of, coming to class and your studies and everything, you know, and this is all on you. Like, you're in this program, you signed up for it. So there's the responsibility right there. And I don't mean to word it in such a way, responsibilities, where it's like, oh my gosh, no, but it's, truth be told, like, this is this is what we have, and this is, what we had signed up for. And is to have that mindset, well, I'm a student now, I gotta do this, I gotta take down some notes, and, to have everything organized. And so that way you're ahead of the game when it comes to your semester, your assignments, and etc. And for group projects, so for example, if you're assigned with your group team, um, always be diligent with your work. And since in the social work programs, when we have group work, it's like you're told that this is your family now, and, treat it as such, and help and support each other out. And, you know, it's, how can I put it? Um, just help and support each other out, and do the best as you can, and set up with team meetings. You know, communication is the key. Keep communicating with each other, and, life happens, and it's the reality. Always keep update with things. And yeah, so with the next one, the cultural teachings awareness, I think I said that right. So I really love that one when it comes to culture teachings week. To me, I look at it as a retreat, because as a student, there's that school stress, and that always happens a lot. So when having this cultural teachings week, it gives me the sense to be grounded and come down. And, you know, when I'm listening to elder stories, or, the guest speaker stories, and it's amazing and wonderful, and I appreciate them for coming out and, sharing their stories with us. And because when it comes to me, when I'm stressing out, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like I think the worst case scenarios, or I think the worst things, and I'm an overthinker. But, attending and listening to the guest speakers and elders, um, it I'm glad it just brings me back down to earth, and it makes me realize that life is not as bad. My life is not as bad than I think or that I thought it was, because like, you know, uh there's just some others, that has been through it rough, and I have humble total respect for them. And it just makes me reevaluate about my life and thought, okay, you know, I'm grateful to where I am at, and hearing their stories too also gives me more motivation and more strength, and the more recharge of, okay, let's get back into this. And so, um, that's which is why I just enjoyed in attending for these cultural teachings week. And I also let my employers know ahead of time that, I'm going to be taking this week off because this is important. And as I stated on here, yes, and take notes, participate, and have fun. And yeah, and like I said, it's just like a retreat. And always do your best on assignments. You got this. And don't overthink when it comes to perfecting. I know many of us tends to be the perfectionist, and we're like, oh, I don't think I can do this, or we tend to feel overwhelmed. But I like using the wording, keep it simple. You know, keep it simple. Just add this and a little that, a dash of this, voila. You know, that's what I like to say. And bursaries. So always look for so many bursaries, because, that helps with the long run. And then going back to what I have said, um, with your education and the mindset, um, just keep up with your attendance, the lectures, and your grades, and plus one of these things too, would help you motivate, to get, happier assignments in and such. And then and sure, things will go really, really fast and be like, whoa, what just happened? It's like we just started yesterday, now we're done today. Well, that's what I think. And APA and journaling, I know for some of us, most of the like the writing and the reading can be tough, and it all depends. It varies for everybody. But there were a couple of things that I've learned too, as an indigenous woman myself here in Muscatine. I know myself, I have suffered with dyslexia, and reading has been a struggle. But I, a long time ago, I've learned to keep continuing to read and to exercise my brain. That's, you know, what I was taught and thought, and go with it. So I keep reading, even though in some parts that I struggle, or I get a dictionary, or I'll ask my sisters, like, what does this mean? Or what does this say? How do you say it? You know, things like that. But I love reading now. And my favorite author is Dean Koontz and James Patterson's. Like, there's uh, couple of good authors that I like to read. And yeah, as I stated too, plagiarism. So, we already know that, don't do it. Okay. So, a student life is a struggle, and of course, you are struggling around in between family life, career, health, studies, essays, assignments, research, lectures, and so on. It's not easy. It's okay to feel not okay. Sometimes when these things that happens, we need to take a step back and focus on our self-care and recharge. Self-care is everything and self-care is life. I I wanted to stress that on there because if you're stressing out and you're giving and giving and giving and pushing and pushing and pushing, you know, it's that's not good. And especially from my experiences, you know, I didn't think self-care was that much of a big deal, but I learned the hard way. And now I am very, very critical when it comes to that, when you need to um say your health and you're not feeling well or it's just, emotional, whichever. Take care of that first. Take care of you first than anything. Do not stress out. Do not worry about other things. They'll wait. It's just your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your physical body. Your whole well-being is very important. So take a break. Do what brings you happy. Do what makes you feel good and happy. What works for you, you know? And there was another thing too that was on the tip of my head. But sorry. So as we can click on to the next slide. Oh, this is a video, and I don't know if that can work. Manisha, can it play?
No, Livia, this is a snapshot of the video. I don't have the link. Maybe you
Oh.
can give it to us later and we can watch.
Okay, yeah. It was a Kung Fu Panda. Oh, it was a good video clip about inspiration, and it's a good video clip about intergenerational trauma survivor like myself, and it was just awesome. But okay.
Is it on YouTube? Maybe
Yes,
she
it's
could
on.
find it.
I would have to find it. Let's see here. I don't know if I can send that out. Let's see.
Or send it to Manisha, and then she can show it to us later.
Yeah, I can do that. No problem. I'll send it to you later. So Manisha, if you can go for the next slide. Oh, what happened? Oh, but the sound.
Yeah, just the same.
Manisha, can you turn on your sound?
How did you do that? Inner peace. Inner peace. That's cool. Inner peace of what? It is the next phase of your training.
Your
Manisha,
story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story, who you choose to be.
Livia, I'll share the link with everyone. But it's a beautiful video. Like it's a beautiful video.
Thank you. Thank you, Manisha. Okay. So I thought I wrote down with my own self-care.
Who
So
are you, Panda?
so with my self-care, I wrote down, these are mine.
I am
Drawing, mended. Oh, I think we're having technical.
What did you do it?
Oh,
You know, you just keep your elbows up and keep the shoulders loose.
How did you find peace? I took away your parents. Everything. I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
No, they don't. Wounds heal.
Oh yeah, what do scars do? They fade, I guess?
I don't care what scars do.
You should, Shen. You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
You're right. It's how I am.
I love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Lyvia. I hope something worked.
yeah, thank you so much. Okay. All right. So with my self-care, I wrote down drawing, meditation, breathing techniques, or daydreaming, therapy, go see a therapist, counselor. I've done that before and I felt that it has helped me a lot, you know, especially as, going like with working and juggling school in between. Watching favorite movies or TV series, like, I want my brain to shut off and I want to enjoy my Netflix, my TV series, like that has helped me a lot. Spending time with my family, yes, that is crucial for me. Journal writing, I do a lot of journal writing. I felt that this is very therapeutic for me. And, sometimes I have so much thoughts. I ended up writing a couple of pages and, you know, eventually I feel like I'm writing a novel, but this is for me and it's really helpful. Walking, even if it's just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we can spare, a couple of minutes, when it comes to walking. Swimming, I love swimming, and I have a Cree name. I just can't say it in Cree, but it is a young woman who sings in the water. And my spirit animal is the mermaid, and as you can see Ariel right there, and I'm such a big fanatic for the Little Mermaid and everybody knows that. So, I enjoy swimming. Video games, yes, I'm a video game girl whenever I have the time for it, but these days I've been so busy. Beading, beading is so therapeutic, and which reminds me I need to finish some of the stuff later on of these earrings that I made. But when I started out, oh my gosh, I was in the zone there, and that really helped and benefited me. Cry out loud. What I mean by that, and sometimes it's good to cry. And, as the saying goes, it cleanses the soul. And yeah, and especially when you feel stress or, any of those things, sometimes it is good to cry. And you can click on to the next slide. I added these because these are the things of what I've taught from, on when it came to my healing journey. Louise L. Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. I give credit to my sister Marcia for introducing me to Louise L. Hay and all of the works right here. And Louise has taught me of self-love and my worth, and I really love Louise's affirmations. And I even respect and enjoyed listening to her story. There's a long video clip of this one, You Can Heal Your Life. It's on YouTube, exactly as the title. You can just type that in and, it's there. It's still there. So you guys can go ahead and check it out. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Some of us have read the book, some of us haven't seen the movie, a documentary. On the bottom, Jack Canfield, he's the creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul. I actually met him personally with my cousin's sister, Heather. We went to it was a women's conference in Edmonton a couple of years ago. And he's so cool and so awesome. And I had the honor of meeting him. So he's part of the movie The Secret. And you can actually watch that on Amazon Prime. If any of you have Amazon Prime, it's there. And Masaru Emoto, there's a short video clip, but if you type in the water experiment, you can see there's a couple of videos of what is the water experiment. So what it is, it's he did an experiment from a polluted river and using thoughts, and he labeled them. So for example, this is one for praying and for good thoughts. The other is for the negative thought. And he did that, and to his incredible wonders, the positive thought, where he thinks good thoughts and prayers for this one, under the microscope, it was a crystallized rainbow shape, crystal snowflake. It was so beautiful, so amazing. Like it was like a perfect snowflake shape. And that's from thinking a positive thought. And versus where a negative thought saying, I don't like me, like, I don't like myself, yada yada. Under the microscope, it was far from, the crystallized snowflake shape. It was like a glob and didn't look like a pretty color either. So it was to the amazement of, thoughts are physical and our bodies are made up of water. And so imagine with a negative thought, what we do to our bodies and what every cell listens to that negative thought. And it's the same goes with our stomach. Our stomach is like the same as our brain. When our brain feels distress or anything, our stomach feels the same as well. And, thus having tummy issues. But, what applies with, with our thoughts, it affects our bodies. So when I learned this idea, that gave me a direction of, leading leading a better path for me. Because I know as an intergenerational trauma survivor, to my road to healing, I gotta be mindful to what I think, and especially to myself. And, it's not easy. In the beginning, it's more of a practice. And I think it's just, practice on thinking good thoughts and thinking good to yourself. But not all every day is rainbows and sunshines. Life happens and it's just how it is. But it's just taking on the practice and creating an art skill of it in order to be, for the improvement and becoming better of yourself, if that makes sense. So going back to the water experiment, just You know, I'll have to look for these videos and I'll probably send them over, or I'll even post them on my Facebook. And then Manisha, you can probably share with that, right?
But email them to me too.
Okay, for sure. I'll email them to you. And then the last, okay, so okay, Jack Talk, the chicken soup for the soul. I love reading these stories. It's very inspiring and it's so comforting. It's so much of hope, you know. If you want to have a good read, read any of those chicken soup for the souls. Um there's different topics for like for mothers, for teenagers, you know, all that kind of stuff. You can take your pickings, you know, they're worth a good read. So, you know, check them out. And the last one at the bottom, as you can see, this is Nick Vujicic, uh, a man born with no limbs, and which is true. This is a man who is from Australia. He was born with no limbs. There's even a YouTube, which I will send to Manisha, about his introduction. And this is what I've shown many of my programs. Um, he's a motivational speaker. He talks about his life and his experience. And when he talks, you'll see that he's bright, you know, positive person, like, and he's funny. And you're like, wow, this guy's really awesome. But he shares his stories, his struggles of, you know, no arms and no legs and stuff. And sometimes he'll joke and tease about his little feet. He calls it a chicken drumstick. And he talks about he does share about um a visualization manifestation, you know. Um he's very, very good at heart. And because of him, I like to introduce, especially to the young adults today, when it comes to, you know, life struggles and dealing with today's society. So I like to introduce them about Nick Vujicic. And he even did a movie. It's a good one. It's called The Butterfly Circus. It's really, really good. It's about 29 minutes long. I just love it. It's like mwah, a chef's kiss. So I'm just happy to show all these goodies. So with the next clip. Oh, so I thought I'd add on here when it comes to goals, when it comes to goals, this is what I do. Um, Setting the SMART goals that are realistic and achievable. And with on the right here, the SMART goal is specific. The more specific you are, the more clear your steps will be to get there. And measurable, how are you going to track your improvements and success? And A, with achievable, make a plan, dreams become goals, within there are plans attached to it. And make it relevant. Make sure your goals is still something you want to be working on. And timely, know how much time you need to accomplish your goal. So I actually learned this from Leah Cryer. She actually developed this, it was called the top 10 revolving goals. Like, this is credit to her. Leah Cryer created the top 10 revolving goals. So there's an example right here. So number 1, going to bed early. Number 2, watching 1 hour television. Number 3, 15 minutes of walk daily. Number 4, clean up bedroom. These are just an examples right here. So you're placing these goals from 1 to 10. And it doesn't have to be very accurate. Oh, I gotta start from number 1 and then work on number 2. No, like that's what I thought in the beginning. But basically, if say you finish a goal like number 4 goal, then whatever that's on number 5, you move it to number 4. Does that make sense? So any of these goals, whatever you start, you can just switch it up and organize over again. And to me, this method really helped a lot. It helped me, you know, setting up for goals, and even with the manifestation to it that. And the list can go on however you like. And you can add it on your phone, your notebook for reminders. You can rotate any goals as it doesn't have to be in order. Create vision boards. With the movie The Secret, I always introduce that to the in my programs. Um, Creating a vision boards, and it's so much fun creating a vision boards. You get magazines and pictures, cut them up, paste them on there, and it's just creating what are the things, showing the pictures on there. What are the things you want to come true? I want to get a new car, new phone, clothes, a house, etc. Like, so many possibilities right there. And, in creating vision boards, it's fun. And affirmations. So affirmation is so good, and especially when it comes to a positive affirmations. With me, I know I have, I'm an overthinker, and yes, I have anxieties here and there. But when it comes to affirmations, looking at it and then saying it out loud, and then with the method of the water experiment, there is the magic sense that's happening when I'm applying all these. And, it just makes me feel good. And with the affirmations, and when I'm teaching in my classes about this, and I have a card of Louise L. Hay, and I get each student pick out a card, shuffle, bang on the card first, shuffle, and pick a card on their own. And what happens is each card that each of the students get, it freaks them out because they really feel that the card was listening and it speaks to them. Like, for example, one had, I love and improve myself, or today is going to be a good day, things like that. And I love doing this method when I'm teaching, the personal development piece. And I love seeing, how they feel good afterwards. So, I get excited, and it makes me feel happy, just seeing that. So next clip. Okay. I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do this, but in any other cases. So I graduated my BSW in September, and I left to Dubai in November. And I got married in Dubai, and to my best friend, to the love of my life. This is my husband, Amir. He is such incredibly a sweet, sweet angel from the heavens, because he does so much for me. He took really good care of me, and he never lets me do chores. And if he sees me pick up a broom, he's like, "Oh, let me do it." I'm like, "Okay." He's a good person, and um, got married over there, and in Dubai, it's just incredible. It's amazing. And with every place that has a downside, the only downside there is that it's expensive. And I only stayed there for 4 months. And this get up that what I have is the abaya, and I have the crystal rhinestones scarf. So when we got married in Abu Dhabi in the family justice court building, I think that's about right. And we went to this great grand mosque over there, and it was just incredibly amazing. And I think I put some video clips at the bottom, and I don't know if they're working on here. I'm not too sure. So, Manisha, if you can go on to the next slide. So these were just the short video clips, but I don't know if they're working on here. Oh yeah, they're just okay.
Sorry, Livia, they're not working. Maybe
Oh,
we'll need another session, maybe, because I don't have TikTok, and some of them are from TikTok, looks like.
oh, okay, yeah, no worries.
But
no
we'll have
worries.
another session just about your experience, cultural responsiveness from various different angles in your life. It's, you are Nehia from Muscogees, and I think it'd be really good to hear a lot more depth. Maybe that can be part 2, but take us through your
Yeah,
slides.
yeah, that could be a part 2. Yeah, I can do that, no problem. So yeah, like I have so much pictures and video clips in my trip to Dubai, and the perfect timing to go because it's in a desert area. It's a tourist destination place. The good timing would be around September to January because then it's not so hot. But once February hit, it will start to get hot. And I enjoyed it over there. You know, it's it's a whole different world, and um the food is incredible. And even the marketplace, I went to check out the old Dubai. That one was really awesome. So I remember I had one of my students ask me, what was the difference over there from here? The currency, um, the culture, um, what else? Um, Geez, I'm gonna have to write down the list about these things. But yeah, you know, I was there for 4 months, and coming back, I'm like, wow. I had to think to myself, did I really go to Dubai? I had to look at my phone and look all these videos. Oh yeah, yes, I did. But yeah, and other than that, we go on to the next clip. So yeah, that's all, folks. Oh, thank you, Connie.